Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Happy Thursday. Happy thriving Thursday. Yo, I really hope somebody got their biggest notepad out today. Yo, when I tell y'all, we are going in on Leadership Bootcamp today. We going straight in. I hope somebody really came ready to learn, yo. On the serious tip, I really hope somebody came with an open mind, ready to take their leadership skills to another level. When I tell y'all, we really about to get into it. And it's crazy because we touched on transactional versus transitional leadership for a little bit when we talked about the 7 principles of leadership a few weeks back. Y'all remember that? But we are going to go all the way in on really talking about transactional versus transformational leadership and really getting into like strategies, like things that you can do to be a transformational leader. Let me tell y'all something. This is the stuff that CEOs study. This ain't this ain't the training that you get at a supervisor level, a manager level, a director level. Like, no, this is the training that you get when you are the president, the vice president, or the CEO. So, a lot of what we are talking about tonight is definitely going to build on top of what we've already been talking. But just keep in mind, y'all, this is next level stuff. This is beyond the basics, yo. So I hope somebody came to be better than basic. Like, yo, this really about to take your leadership skills to the next level, yo. Let me get my what's ups out the way, and then we gotta get into it because we got a whole lot to cover today. Breezy Breeze, what's up, Breezy Breeze? That's you in your top spot. You got your top spot back. What's up, baby? Good to see you, yo. Breathe your top spot, and Breezy Breeze. You know it look good on you, yo. That top spot always look good on you. What's up? Dawn to Dawn. What's up, Dawn to Dawn? How you feeling? Hey, yo, I know that's right. Came to be better than basic. You better have her, because we going to get into it. What's up, Caleb? How you feeling? Good to see you, yo. Good to see you. Rally Rouse. What's up, Rally Rouse? How you feeling? Good to see you, yo. Cam Gotti. What's up, Cam Gotti? Shout out to Cam Gotti. Shout out to Coach Johnson, y'all. They are going to be helping me facilitate a session tomorrow for Maryland Mentor. Yeah, really looking forward to that one. What's up, Destiny? How you doing? Good to see you. Happy Thursday to you too. Jimma the Dilemma. What's up, man? How you feeling, yo? Thoughts and prayers definitely still with you. You absolutely let me know if you need anything. Thank you for being here under the circumstances. Marta General, what's up, Marta General? How you feeling? Good to see you. Yo. What's up, yo? How you doing? Mike, where you been at, Mike? We ain't seen you in a minute. How you feeling, Mike? Good to see you, yo. Good to see you. Reality, what's up? I know that's right. About to get that first car. All right, Reality. That's what's up. Reality, I might have to take you up on that offer too, because I can't get no reliable boy to do this leadership session. So listen, if the young men ain't available, if they can't step up, I'm gonna have to just go with who I got, yo. Like for real, for real. So I might be talking to you. What's up, Tay Baz? How you feeling? Good to see you. What's up, Vera? How you doing, yo? Good to see you. Tanner, what's up, Tanner? How you doing? Good to see you, Tanner. Mr. Elaborator, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you. Soul, what's up, Soul? Hey, yo, shout out Soul, y'all. Soul was up Mervo today talking to the sophomores and the juniors up there making real impact, yo, trying to help us to get some more young leaders. Good looking out, Soul. Thank you so much for taking your time to volunteer to pour into those young people because they really need it. Thank you so much for that. Track Star, what's up, Track Star? How you feeling? Sang, what's up, Sang? How you doing? Yes. Hey, Big 16, yes. Kaylee too. Shout out Kaylee, because Kaylee was up there too. Yo, let me find out Big 16 rocking with us for a second day in a row, yo. What's up? Not you helped out a teeny easy bit. Thank you, Big 16. Look, all the help, any help, yo, we appreciate it. So thank you so much. What's up, Ted? Checking in from Facebook. Man, love you more. Always good vibes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mr. Bonnet. What's up, Mr. Bonnet? How you feeling, yo? Good to see you. What's up, Kai? How you doing? Good to see you. Anaya. What's up, Anaya? How you doing? Good to see you. Lenata Activist. What's up? How you feeling? Charles. What's up, Charles? We missed you too, yo. How you doing, yo? Good to see you as always. All right, y'all. Let's get into this, yo. Hey, Ted. Hey, do y'all see that? Ted said, I got funding for you. 2 grants. Listen, Ted, I appreciate you so much. Like, thank you just for that. Like, yo, sowing the seed into the work, into our heartbeats is like so important, so overwhelming, so heartfelt. I already know you serious. Listen, and I appreciate you so much in advance, yo. Yo, y'all gotta shout out Mr. Ted, because it's not every day that somebody just jump on the live and say they got funding and say they about to sow a seed. Like, that is definitely a big deal, and we appreciate it. Yo, Mr. Inkwell is also one of my main men. You'll say Mr. Inkwell was on Entrepreneurship Matters. He shouted us out. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Mr. Ted, you already know. This is a blessing. Thank you. Y'all ready to get into it? Y'all got to get the big notepads out, because, again, y'all, I can't stress this enough. Kels, what's up, Kels? This is beyond the basics, y'all. What we about to get into, these are lessons that presidents, vice presidents, CEOs talk about, y'all. These are the leadership strategies and skills that help them lead whole organizations. So imagine, right, you being able to grasp the concept of these leadership skills and being able to take these skills on your projects, in your communities, in your school. This is where the real change happens. Like, change starts with just one person that cares enough to get it rolling. So let me get my handy dandy pen. Y'all already see how we doing it. Let me share my screen. Hey, Kels, I'm so glad you love these sessions, yo. And low key, these are like some of my favorite sessions too. So I'm not even about to hold you on that. I think I like them more than y'all. All right. Can y'all see my screen? I gotta pull the sleeves up on y'all on here, man. Let me see. Why is my screen not sharing, yo? Listen, it's always something, ain't it? Hang on, y'all. We about to get it. All right. Y'all should be able to share my screen now. Hey, thank you so much for that, Soul. Connected with the other youth organization who focus on prison reform. Yup, we need it. Hey, Charles, because that's how hard we about to get it. I had to pull the sleeves up. That's how hard we about to get it. So I got the chat right here on my phone. So make sure y'all sending me y'all questions and stuff as we go along. But we about to get into this, y'all. Now, come on now. Now, come on now. Don't do this to me, yo. Don't do this to me. We was doing so good. Come on. Come on. Hey, yo. All right. Now that you see what happened, yo, when you really doing it, yo. You see what happened? Now all right. Let me disconnect this for a second, y'all. Let me disconnect this for a second, cause This joint is not trying to let me be great, yo. It's not trying to let me be great. Hang on. I know reality. I know you could see it, but it wasn't letting me write, yo. It wasn't letting me write. I'm about to do something real quick. Like, yo. I know. Hey, Jimmy the Dilemma. I know, yo. Come on now. Like, why is you trying to be petty like that? Why is you trying to be petty? We about to get it. Let me see. All right, there we go. All right, so let me try this again. Let me try this again. All right, hang on 1 second, y'all. Hang on 1 second. Always when you try and be great, right? All right. All right, now tell me if y'all can y'all should be able to see it. It's crazy. All right. Y'all got me? Bam. I know. Call the corporate at Apple because they playing with me. All right, y'all. Here's what we talking about. Transactional leadership versus transformational leadership. And the first thing we're going to do, y'all, let's get into just like first defining what it is. And you don't say got the connection. You is crazy, yo. Yo, saying it's crazy. So let's first talk a little bit about like what do we mean when we say transactional leadership, right? Let's get a little list going on. First of all, when you think about transactional leadership, um, think about rewards and penalties. So this really emphasizes you staying within a structured situation of whatever your organization is about, right? So when it comes to meeting your metrics, when it comes to doing like all the things that you need to do to be quote unquote successful in the organization, it's all really based on rewards and penalties. Also think authority and positions. Transactional leadership is based very, very heavy on your authority, like what you are technically able to do in the organization or whatever situation you in. And also, titles are really, really big. Um, People who are rooted in transactional leadership, they really want for you to address them as the boss or address them as the president or of whatever or the vice president of whatever. So think heavy, heavy, heavy on authority, very, very heavy on what your position is, and using that authority and position to actually get things done. Um, think set standards. So it is what it is. This is what needs to get done. And these are the set standards. This is the performance review. And this is how you are going to be judged as a person, as an employee in this space. And if you aren't meeting these standards from a transactional perspective, then really you kind of are really not that important as a person, as an employee, as a contributor to that workspace. Now, let's get into transformational just a little bit. And we're gonna do more and go in depth as we go along, but I really just want to get some words out here to help you put your mind around like definitions as to what they are. So, transformational, right? Think inspire. These are the people who inspire us. And there, I see your comment that says set standards. Thank you so much for adding that to the note list. But y'all, with that one, that's not necessarily in a good way. Like, it's a way to have balance, and we're going to talk about that as we continue on our conversation. But set standards for transactional really is more like a punitive thing, like a negative thing, saying like, all right, we got these standards right here, and that's it. If you don't meet these standards, you're not worthy, you're not good enough, and basically kind of throwing people away in that situation. Um, so transformational think inspire. Think people who inspire their followers, the people who work with them and for them, and not really having to use their position or title or authority, but people are doing things because they want to do things. Um, think about growth. A lot of growth happens under transformational leadership. When you have a leader that is transformational, they are focused heavily on growing and developing the people who work with them and work for them, because they really, really, really understand that at the core of any business, of any organization, you got your people. And if you aren't growing your people, then you can't possibly grow the business. And when you have people who are growing and developing, then automatically you have a business that's going to be able to thrive and do well and grow and develop. Think, exceed expectations. Transformational leaders have a very healthy habit of exceeding expectations, and not just them personally, right? Because when we talk about this level of leadership, now it's not just about you, it's about the people who are your followers, the people who work with you and work for you. Like, they are put in a position to exceed expectations because they are highly inspired, highly motivated, and they want to do good because they just want to be better than average. And this is a result of them being inspired to do more. Like, they are truly, truly, truly committed to the cause and committed to the organization and committed to the goals of that organization. All right. Now, let's talk about some categories real quick when we think about transactional versus transformational. So, the source of power. All right. From a transactional side, that source of power is coming from your position in the company, versus transformational is coming from your character. So when you're thinking about how people view their power and view, all the things that they can do in the organization, when you are on that transactional side, this is what you are relying on. You are relying on people to respect your position and to respect whatever title it is that you have in the organization. Versus transformational, you ain't worrying about what your title is. You're not worrying about what your official position is. It's all based on your character and how you carry yourself and how you treat other people and the competence that you have, that goes along with that character and doing the job and doing the job well, and also helping other people to be successful. Let's talk compliance. All right. When it comes to compliance from a transactional point of view, no, you know what? No, hold up. I said that wrong, y'all. Hang on. not compliance. We talking about reaction. And this is reaction from your people. Transactional, we want people to be compliant. When we are telling people to do something, when we have that transactional leadership mindset, when we telling people to do something, listen, we don't want to hear a whole bunch of this and that. We don't want to hear your thoughts. We don't want to hear your ideas. None of that. We just want you to be compliant. We just want you to do what it is that we say do. And that's it. Now, when it comes to transformational, we don't necessarily just want compliance. We want a commitment. We want people to be inspired, to be committed to whatever the goal is, whatever the vision is, whatever it is that we are trying to do. All right. When it comes to time frame, people who are transactional are also very short term. Like they not thinking about how the decisions of today can impact the world of tomorrow. They not thinking about, what's the long-term goal? What's the long-term strategy? What do we need to do to make sure that we ensure our future? They are very, very, very short-term thinkers versus transformational, always considering the long term. And that is in conjunction with the short term. So transformational, we don't ignore the short term, but in most cases, our short term is okay. Why? Because we already made plans for our short term, depending on where we are in whatever given situation. But we are always cognizant and conscious of, okay, how do these decisions impact what could potentially happen to us a week from now, a month from now, even a year from now? Like transformational leaders are very, very conscious about long term and their impact on that. All right. When it comes to rewards, our transactional people, y'all, they worrying about their pay. They worrying about promotion. They want all the frivolous things that come along with the rewards. They want the big office. They want to be able to take the 3 hour lunch break and nobody really stress them about where they are. Like that's what they deem as their rewards versus versus the transformational. Y'all, it's about the self-esteem and growth. Like that's our reward. Us being able to feel good about whatever contributions we are making in this world, whatever contributions we are helping with other people, and us being able to see growth not only with our people but also with ourselves. Because what a lot of people fail to realize is that the more you raise up other people, you automatically become elevated when you are growing other leaders and when you are helping other people. Like it just happens like that automatically without you even doing anything. So we aren't stuck on pay and promotion and all that type of stuff. We would much rather be able to have that growth and see ourselves develop and get better along with the people. All right. When it comes to supervision, and this can be a tricky one, y'all. This can be a tricky one, but our people who are transactional, this is very, very, very important. Think micromanaging on this. People with that transactional leadership, they need to micromanage every single thing. You can't do nothing on your own. You can barely breathe without them telling you which nostril to breathe out of. Like these people are very, very heavily fixated on making sure that people are supervised, that people have oversight, and that there are eyes on everything. Versus people who are transformational, supervision is less important, but what's more important is support. Heavy on the support. Because when you focus less on supervising or micromanaging somebody, you can focus more on really truly supporting somebody so that way they get better. If all you're doing is trying to make sure that somebody is dotting every I and crossing every T, but they really don't understand what they're doing or why they're doing it, you're going to always find yourself constantly fighting that battle of pulling teeth, trying to get people to do stuff, and then cleaning up behind people, trying to make sure that everything is done like to a perfect T. That's a stressful way to live your leadership life. Versus transformational leaders, like, we don't want to micromanage you. We want to give you whatever parameters or whatever outline needs to be done, and basically let you fill it in. Say, hey, you decide how best to get there. You decide how you work best, and let us know how we can support. Let me know what I can do to make sure that you are successful. um Let me get to some of these questions real quick. Miss Elaborator said that time frame should be my main thing. Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, Gemma said, what about when people try to influence you to value more transactional benefits rather than transformational? My mother tries to encourage me to value my pay within my job, but never my impacts and how much I help others. Yeah, Gemma the dilemma, that's a really great question, and that's a really great point. I would say, from people who that love and care about you, like, take the advice, accept the advice, but accept it in a way to where as though you are appreciative, but you still know what's important to you. And let me know if this makes sense, y'all. For some people, especially older people in this leadership environment, most people only really know one way. So they can only really tell you like that one way of leadership. Like, look, get your money, get your promotion. Don't worry about nothing else. Make sure you climbing that corporate ladder and you getting all that you can get. That's a very, very static way of looking at it. And I get it, because it's the safe way. Like, it is very, very safe, because 9 times out of 10, those type of positions are going to, always be there for people to have. But remember, we're talking about that high level leadership. So that type of advice and strategy, unfortunately, wouldn't work for somebody that's trying to be the vice president or somebody that's trying to be the CEO. That absolutely might work if you about to run some Burger King franchises, or you about to be the manager in like a food market or something like that. Like those type of leadership positions where you find a lot of these type of leaders where they are really, really, really just focused on their pay, their promotion, and just being a manager in the most basic forms. But in terms of that leadership where now you are inspiring even people outside of your immediate group, like, that's a whole different mindset that a lot of people can't even wrap their minds around, because it's like, yo, I'm first worrying about the immediate things. But what us transformational leaders know, we know that when we stray away from those immediate things, they end up coming to us anyway. Right. Y'all saw the man just checking in on the live saying he got funding for us, like, already, just checking in just off of what we doing. So when you get some of these strategies, trust and believe, the bag will chase you, and mommy ain't gonna have nothing to worry about. Uh Cam Gotti said, does every situation require you to look at the long term? In this level of leadership, Cam Gotti, 99%. 99%. Because remember, y'all, I'm teaching y'all from a perspective of you are a vice president, you a president, or you the CEO at a big organization where you got people who are directors and managers and stuff like that. Like you got those people that report to you. So in this particular like example framework that we setting up, Cam Gotti, absolutely. Because now when you are making decisions and when you are making moves, it's going to affect people's lives for the long term as well. Like you can make one policy change, right? And that one policy change could literally impact the entire organization in a good way or a bad way, depending on, what the circumstances are. But that's why it's so important for us to also think about the future and to think about that long-term impact, because you could be unintentionally doing harm to people who are 10 levels below you. Like, and you probably will never even meet those people. They'll know you because you are at the top of the food chain, but you're making decisions for some people that you probably don't even get a chance to meet, and you want to make sure that you are doing right by those people. And that's why it's important to really think about the long-term impact as well, even if it doesn't necessarily impact you personally. um Also, with the supervision part, are we looking at it as if our team is already sturdy and supervision during the beginning? What if supporting isn't helping? Yeah, and Cam Gotti, absolutely. And keep in mind, keep our framework on. This is high level leadership. So in these particular situations, support might look like helping that person be successful in another position. And this is where our communication and our authenticity and just like really being open and honest with a person is going to come in and to help us get through like some of these situations, because everybody ain't going to be a good fit in a leadership position. And at these levels, the people that's reporting to you, like these people, they're leaders. So they have teams of their own. And if you find yourself like at that level having to babysit and like really supervise somebody like day in and day out, they are probably not a good fit in that role. And you need to figure out, really where can they be effective. Because one thing about some of these leadership positions is like you'll find that the person might be a good person, but they a horrible leader. They a bad leader. They a great person, empathetic, nice, relatable, all that, but can't seem to garner the respect of their people, so they end up being a poor leader. Yeah, so definitely it is a case by case situational type situation, but 9 times out of 10 it is absolutely going to be you more in a supporting role, because you're not going to have the time to be able to do that supervision like that in like that intensity. All right, let's go to counseling. You ever heard somebody say that they getting like written up at their job or something like that? They on a final written warning or they on a verbal warning or something like that. When you are in transactional leadership mindset, the way how you think about counseling your employees or the people that report to you, you're thinking about a formal evaluation. That's what you're worried about. You trying to check all the boxes. All right, do they do this? Do they do that? Do they have this? Do they do that? Like you were focused on just evaluating this person and basically kind of giving a verdict at the end to be able to say like where they stand. But when you are in this transformational, it's about development. It's about, okay, what skills do you have? What skills do you need? And how can we help complement you the best way. So the skills that you are weak at, we can absolutely try to develop those, but we're not going to put more emphasis on those weak skills. We're going to put more emphasis on those exceptional skills that you have. Because we know as transformational leaders, when we put people in places where they are naturally good at or where they can excel at, it's going to be a better situation for everybody. Now we not sitting around trying to figure out how we're going to fire this person or let this person go or doing all this supervision that Cam Gotti talked about, or even doing all this counseling from an evaluation perspective. Because when you put people in places where they can excel and you put people in places where they are able to be successful, it's a win-win for everybody. That person is happy to come to work. They are invested in their work. You are able to support that person as needed. And overall, the organization as a whole is going to benefit because now we're able to get good outcomes from people. One of the worst things you can do is to try to play off of somebody's weaknesses and thinking that you're going to be able to make them great in an area that, clearly they are weak in. Now, this is not to say that people can't develop their weaknesses and they can't work on them. Absolutely, they can. But one thing just about humans in general is that one of your weaknesses is never going to outweigh one of your greatnesses. So, as transformational leaders, we are very cognizant about playing on people's strengths, playing on things that they are already great at. So, it's not an excuse to leave somebody limping in the area that they weak in, but it's like, all right, let's stabilize it. Let's get it to a place where it's acceptable, but let's really, really build on those strengths because that's where we're going to get the most impact. All right. Um, and let's talk about dang. Let's get into some of the things that actually make up transformational leadership. And yo, I really do hope somebody is going to be able to take some of this stuff and really do something with it. Let's get into some of the things that really make this up. All right. So you really got four different buckets, right? When you think about transformational leadership, you got your intellectual bucket up here. You got your individual, and then you got your ideals, your idealized, and then you got your inspirational. And some of these things are going to sound like very, very familiar because we talked about a lot of these things in one place or another, just as we were talking about leadership in general over the past few weeks. All right. So when you think about the intellectual side, innovation, transformational leaders are very, very innovative, very creative. Um, when it comes to the intellectual piece, always have goals too and are never afraid of challenges. And these are the things intellectually that you find transformational leaders. Hey, I'm so glad, Tana, that these sessions be helpful. I'm so glad. Um, when it comes to individual, right, mentorship is a big deal, and both ways. Um, you being a mentor to other people and also you taking the time to make sure that you have a mentor and that you're getting poured into as well. The empathy piece is really, really big. Having a purpose, absolutely critical. And then strength and skills. So really being able to have that foundational knowledge as well. All right. And for idealize, right? Think about your influence on this one, right? So this is where we focus on being a good role model, right? Because we know that we can't expect anybody to do anything that we wouldn't be able to do ourselves. And that goes hand in hand with walking the walk. Like, don't just talk about it, but really be about it. And while you being about it, don't forget to be enthusiastic about that as well. Hey, Mr. Elaborator, you say that every single time, yo. You say you say every single time, every Thursday, your favorite, man. Listen, I appreciate you so much. I'm glad you're getting something out of this. Um, and then that value, right? Really embodying that value and and showing people like what it looks like. And when you think about inspirational, y'all, think about having a very clear vision. Um, People are normally inspired when you can help them see whatever this vision is that we are all working towards. Um, Optimism is a big one. And definitely you have to be realistic, y'all. But while you are being realistic, like always be optimistic as well, because sometimes people get so far stuck in being a realist or being realistic that they forget to think about the possibilities or to even work towards the possibilities. Um, for inspirational inclusion as well. So even if a person doesn't have your same experiences or have your same background, regardless of where people are coming from, we want to make people feel like family. We want to make them feel like they are included. If you've ever been to a Thriving Thursday in person, then you already know what that feels like, that inclusion. Because anybody that came through our doors, especially if it was like your first time, we never seen you before. By the time you left, you had about 5 or 6 different friends because people automatically knew, even without me saying anything, people automatically knew, like, introduce yourself, get their name, welcome them, help them get some food, help them get, comfortably seated at the table, whatever, talk to them about, what they can expect. Like, all the time. Very, very big on inclusion. And that's how you create that family dynamic. And then for inspirational, y'all, the productivity too. And this is where we really kind of focusing on like the results. So yes, we want to make sure that we're helping people and that we're developing people and that we're growing people. But at the end of the day, too, whatever our vision is, whatever our goal is, we also want to be striving towards productivity and making sure that we have great outcomes. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much on the notes. Yo, you saving my life right now. All right, a couple of things right here, right? And this is an age old debate that I love having when I'm doing leadership sessions, like in different spaces, especially when my audience is like executive leaders, because we always get into these like tug of war situations where we're talking about, okay, what's a boss versus what's a leader. And really this is about changing the perception and just changing how people think about leadership. So a boss, I know y'all already can guess, this is our transactional person. And a leader This is our transformational person. Thank you on the notes, Cam. Got it. Because I already know that one looking a little sketchy. All right. So let's just write down a few things that just kind of separates them in terms of just like some of the buzzwords that like come to mind, right? So again, like with that boss, they want to enforce things. All right. Um, our leader, our leader want to guide things. Our boss, our boss know it all. They just want to know. They know it all, and not only do they do they know it all, they don't want to tell you. you ever you ever work with somebody who knew the answer but didn't want to share the answer with you because then now once you know, now they not the only person that know. Y'all, I promise y'all, it's so many people in corporate America that's like that. They might have a connect, right? They got to connect to get something done, but they want to keep being the middleman. They don't want to share the connect because then once you got the connect, then you're not going to need them no more. Yo, no, no, and no. For leaders, yo, we don't know it all. We try to learn it all and teach it all because our philosophy, yes, so the gatekeepers, yo, our philosophy is if we can learn it and teach it, then guess what? We can empower you. We can put you in a position to now, whereas though you got your own network, you got your own connections, and you're not relying on us just to get things done. Um, the bosses over here, y'all, they are relying on policies and procedures. And I'm not saying that these things aren't important. Policies and procedures definitely have a place in any and every workplace. But when it comes to transformational leadership, we are more focused on values and principles. And what happens is, right, when you think about values and principles, we look at the policies and procedures and say, yo, does this policy match our values? Does this procedure match our values? Does this match our principles, what we say we are about? And this is normally one of the most powerful parts of a leadership session when I do these sessions and when I'm talking to these high level leaders about their leadership. And we talking about their policies and procedures. And I'm like, yo, how on one hand you are, telling me that you value people and you value what people bring, but your policy right here says to terminate people off of one offense. Like it just don't make sense. Like you got to be able to balance it out. Yes, Cam Gotti, those by the book people, and and it's a way to communicate whatever the policy is or the procedure is, but also making sure that it aligns with what is the right thing for us to do. Like how do we do right by people? Um, Bosses put a lot of focus on the plan, like the plan just in its raw general state. It's important to have a plan, y'all. Make sure you got your plan, but you want to be able to graduate to purpose. So yes, the plan is important, and we want to know what the plan is, but we also want to understand like what is the purpose, and does the plan align with what our purpose is? And if it doesn't, then guess what? We need a new plan because we shouldn't be doing anything that doesn't align with our ultimate purpose. Um, the bosses, y'all gonna find them in front of them computers all day long. Yes, Kels, being intentional. Y'all gonna find them bosses in front of them computers. You're gonna go to their office gonna be nice and decked out, and that's where they're gonna spend majority of their day. Versus transformational leaders, y'all, We spend our time in front of people as much as possible. We want to be in front of people. We want to be connecting with people. We want to be talking to people. We want to be getting different perspectives, different insights, and just making sure that we have a good handle on the pulse of the organization that we are um, in, in charge of. Connects to the days Jewel earlier. Absolutely. Definitely, Kels. Thank you so much for calling that out. Absolutely. Bosses, y'all, they want their control. They had to be in control. They are focused on controlling you. Yo, leaders, no. I gotta hit my girl Tay up. Leaders, we want to unleash your potential. We do not want to control you. Like, we want to truly help you tap into that potential and unleash that potential. Bosses, they just worried about making sure that you do what they say to do when they say to do. They really want to feel like they have ultimate control over you and over your life versus leaders. We really want to help you be in control of your own life and really start to see and appreciate your own potential so that that potential can work in your favor. Yes, leaders unleash, yo. I love it. I love it. I love it. So when we think about success, right? Just the whole idea of us. I got hold up. I got too many C's right there. My bad, y'all. All right. So when you think about success on one side, we just simply measure. And on the other side, we engage. And I already know y'all know where I'm going with this, right? This is the transactional, this is the transformational. So, yes, we absolutely need to measure success in many different ways. But when you graduate from just measuring, now you are truly engaged in that success. When we think about our priority, how you measure success. That's a great question, Mr. Elaborator. It's many different ways to measure your success. The first thing you got to figure out is, what does success look like? So once you've determined what success looks like, then you can try to say, okay, well, this is how we're going to measure success. Let's just use an easy example. Let's just use Baltimore City Public Schools, right? Just because it's right there. Um, Success for them should be graduating people who are able to read at or above grade level, and being able to successfully slot people in like one of three situations. Either they going off to some type of secondary education, so college, university, trade school, whatever, or they are jumping right into a career job. I'm not talking about no little job where you just mopping the floor somewhere, or you throwing my packages on my porch. Like, I ain't got nothing valuable in there, but like really a career job that can help somebody sustain themselves and sustain their family, or going into the military, because that's a viable option as well. So, like, that could really be a realistic picture of success for Baltimore City Public Schools. And the way they would measure that, they would say, okay, um, let's see how many graduates we have versus how many are reading at or above grade level, versus how many are going into the military, versus how many are going off to college, to a university, trade school, whatever, versus how many are able to get full-time career jobs right after high school. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's different ways to measure success, but you just got to first figure out what this success look like. And most times success is measured in these two simple ways: quantity and time. Those are the um those are the most consistent ways that people like measure things. So they'll measure like how much, how many, and then the time piece, like by when, like what's the deadline or what's the timeline on those things. So I hope that helped. Hey yo, yeah, hey Dawn, you already know throwing them packages, yo, like they don't have no consideration for what's in them, yo. Just do not kid. And yes, Cam Gotti, these things are never, ever, 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 ever long enough. I feel like we could just keep going on and on. Let me move this one down a little bit. Let's do this last one, y'all, and then we can go ahead and get ready to wrap up in a second. Um, Priority. So our transactional people, yo, the priority is always the outcome. Like they ain't worried about nothing else. They worry about that outcome. Like, what is this about to mean for me? What is this about to mean for the business? Like, they ain't worrying about nothing else. They are worried about that bottom line. They worry about that outcome versus transformational. Our priority, yo, is always people. This is where we put our focus. We put our focus in people with the understanding that if we take care of people, then people are going to take care of the outcome. People are going to take care of the business. Let's do this last one, y'all. Let's do this last one. Let's do structure, right? When it comes to having structure, our transformational people, our transactional people, they all about boundaries. They want to make sure that you know your boundaries, that you don't step outside your boundaries. It's a black and white world. It is what it is. Now, granted, we all know that boundaries are great in some situations, and that, like with anything, you got to be able to have your balance when it comes to boundaries. But for this conversation, think people that OD on boundaries. Like, it ain't no room for nothing. Straight black and white world versus our transformational, very flexible. Very flexible. They are able to look at a situation and figure out where the gray areas are in that situation. They are able to look at something and say, you know what? I understand what it should be, but because of these set of circumstances, this is what it needs to be. And they are really, 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 really good at making sure that they are flexible and that they're able to move and to help accommodate different situations that might come up. So, y'all, I hope that was helpful. Get my stuff back. Like, I hope somebody took a lot of notes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Cam Gotti, for having us on the note situation. I don't know what people would do if they was just dependent on having to try to decipher my handwriting. Like, yo, you definitely be saving a day on that. And like, yo, put some of these concepts and some of these theories, put those in action, yo, on some of these projects. Really start figuring out how some of your behaviors can start to mirror some of the stuff that we are talking about. Because the more practice that you get early right now, the better off you're going to be. Like when you really start climbing that ladder, like in your professional spaces, you're going to be a beast. You hear me? Yo, you're going to be a beast. You start putting some of these things in practice now, people going to be looking at you like, whoa, where they come from. And it's also going to be just overall a good training ground for you to start getting your own experiences and really to start learning from your own, failures, mess ups, and all that type of stuff like that, because it isn't a perfect science, y'all. And nobody ever gets it just on the first try, because so many things are not static, like especially different people's personalities. And it's just the fact of life that until you've really had that experience dealing with those different type of personalities, it's going to be that learning curve, because you gotta learn yourself as well in a deep intimate way, and you gotta learn how you best deal with those types of personalities and all that type of stuff like that. Like, I already know the type of people that I don't mess with. I already know, yo, the type of people that is just like oil and vinegar. We are not going to get along at all. But as a transformational leader, I don't let that get in my way. The work still got to get done. We still got to ultimately get to those goals. You just got to learn how to work with those people and learn how to make sure that you're able to blend in a healthy way with those type of people. Let me see. The priority piece for leaders made me think of how you treat your team. Thank you, Cam God. Yeah, absolutely. Like, my team is a high priority for me, right? Because I understand that without my team, it ain't no me, it ain't no heart smiles, it ain't no nothing. Like, and we always, always, always have to remember that and understand that doing something great, like, it can't be a one person show. Like, definitely never can't be a one person show. It's always going to have to expand beyond you. And a big part of leadership, y'all, um, is getting things done through other people. That's a big, 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 big part of leadership. Like, yo, everything that need to get done, you ain't got to necessarily put your hands on it. You got to be able to have a nice, strong team that's able to get things done on your behalf. Uh, I know, Mr. Bonnet, they go by real quick. Reality said, "Oh, the back, I know it's going to be work and not going to be work between me and another person." Absolutely. Yeah. And thank you for recognizing that. But all right, y'all. Yes, yes. Thank you, Cam Gotti. Y'all make sure y'all get with Cam Gotti. Y'all blow y'all schools up about them sessions, y'all. We need representation, and definitely get your coins. But y'all, we about to get into this music track. Y'all already know. Oh yeah, no, this is Cam sessions that she's doing. Yes, the pursuing passion and purpose. Yeah, y'all better make sure y'all get on that. Y'all schools can afford 100 beats.
Hey, Miss Joni.
What's up? How you feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah.
I know that's right. Well,
Can't
good to
complain.
see you. Thank you for rocking with us.
Oh man, yeah, no problem. I was excited. I'm excited about today's session.
Good, good, good,
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, I'm handing it all over. It's all yours.
Okay, cool.
I see you back.
All right. Hey y'all, what's up? Yo, I don't even like this hat. Look, man, I popped it on, but it don't like I put the hat on and then my headphones pop up a little bit over the hat. And then when I tried to, man, all right, I'm rambling about stuff that don't matter. What's up, y'all? I'm here. Hey, Tape Mans. Hey. Hey, Tana. Hey, Donovan. Hey, everybody. What's up? What's good? Um, shoot, I'm trying to figure out how I want to start this. Okay, I'm gonna play a, I'm gonna play a song real quick, right? And y'all tell me if you know who it is. I'm gonna try to make it like a, hey, what's up, Raquel? Hey, everybody. I'm gonna try to make it like easy. Um, hey, so I didn't even think you'd be on here. Yeah, okay. I need like top of the top. Okay. Because maybe, maybe this is how I lead the sessions from now on. I don't know. Oh, I ain't checked none of these for Christ word tonight. Yeah, man. Okay, cool. I'm gonna just hop straight into it. So basically, we going over P Diddy today. All right, Mr. Sean Diddy Combs, Mr. Puff Daddy, Mr. Brother Love, Mr. Love without the brother. Um, we exploring him today. So I was gonna just do the song and then, but I ain't check none for cuss words and I'm not trying to get a cuss out today. I'm good. So hey everybody, how's everybody day been? Let me know what's up. What's up, man? What's going on? Heard y'all was having a good session before I came on. I called like the um part about like the teamwork and all that, and I was thinking about tying that into mine because it is good to like delegate and to make sure. Yeah, you get it, man. Ooh, Diddy's son. Oh, I don't know about. Okay, see, look, I know he a controversial figure, um, and that is a part I did not dip into for what I was prepared to do. So, what's going on with Diddy's son? Tell me that. What's good? I've been good, Tanner. I've been good. I can't complain. I came up on here doing Diddy today. A lot to talk about. It's gonna get real. I should have wore some pink. It's pink on the hat. See, look, I'm lacking. Feeling real motivational. Feeling real like it's gonna be that good. Like the good. All right. Yeah, but what's going on with Diddy's son? Fill me in with that, cause I ain't even hopping the controversy. I was gonna put like a warning, kind of like the parental advisory sticker on like music covers. I was about to say like I know Diddy is a controversial figure, and he is not always in the right. No drama. Okay, good. So it's good things from him and his family. Cool. Smooth entrance into what we about to go into. So let me pull up. I don't even know. Yeah. Let me pull up what I got, and we gonna take it that way. Um, did y'all hear that new man? Did y'all hear that new Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak song that came out? Hey, what's up? Who are you, real spill? I don't like. I just go off like if I see the name, then yo, I gotta hear that new Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak song because that who feel me. Reality. Okay, cool. So reality. So that's reality. Got you. Yeah. Okay. So I know what the W has moving forward. Cool. Let me make sure I got everything up. All right, cool. Uh Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy. Um, all the names that he goes by, man. We about to hop straight into that. Cool. Slides. Bow. Okay, I got the slideshow up now. Cool. So Sean Combs, P. Diddy, man. Um, what I'm gonna say before starting this is that P. Diddy is a very, very like inspirational figure. Uh, a lot of stories in the hip hop like community about him. Like once I heard, he was tussling with my man's Cole, I had to be like, whoa, everybody, like, chill it out. You know, like Cole, Jermaine, Cole, you, what's going on? Like, out of all the figures in hip hop, that's the person. But I don't know, man. I know he's like, he has a reputation of having a temper. Um, it's just like one of his character traits. But like Jermaine Cole, out of everything. Anyway, yeah. So I got way too much. Yeah, man. I love Jermaine. I love Cole, man. I can't wait for the last. Ooh, that last album gonna be fire. But let me stop getting on track. Um, so, um, what I'm about to run down about Diddy is P. Diddy. Love is what he goes by. What I'm about to run by love is that uh kind of his story, but also I'm gonna tie it into a bigger theme that can hopefully help y'all. Just with self confidence is kind of the theme of the overall. Like I don't know the TED talk. Somebody called it a master class once. You know, um, but does anybody here struggle with like self confidence or like feeling like they're not like they can't accomplish what they set out to do, or maybe that they're not good enough, or like kind of feeling like things are just out of reach for you. Um, and tell me what you struggle about, within that, because that's something that I think everybody can relate to. Like okay, you used to, got you, cool, nice to know that you leveled up. You feel me? Like, just with yourself. That's good. Um, but yeah, for those who have struggled with self confidence issues, one thing I will say, after hearing Brother Love's story, and I feel like I'm in church, after hearing Love's story, and just like kind of just my own kind of progression with self confidence, um, is that like everybody has their own uh, like timeline of when things are gonna click. Um, Self confidence is one of those things. It's like how you view yourself. Which is like the most important aspect to kind of how you move forward. But what I'm trying to get around to is that it's not going to happen right away for everybody. Um, you said it was a lot of comparing yourself to others. Yeah, yeah. I struggle with that now. Matter of fact, like I'm just being honest. Like, especially in the music games, there's so many like influential figures. Sometimes it's hard not to. But I have people around me who don't do that. Um, they've kind of been like helping me through. So seeing people ahead of me on social media back then, I hadn't grasped that everybody's timeline is different. Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely. That's one of those things. Um, it doesn't happen right away for everybody, and everybody doesn't kind of get into that view of that. Like I mean, everybody's different, but also like look at how far I've come. Like look at what I'm that amalgamation of. Like I'm not just like anybody. Like I'm that body. I'm me. Like, and can't anybody take that away from me? Um, and it's a confidence in that you can find, I think. But for the people who still struggle with it, I understand completely. You know, and it's gonna be a growth process. But just trust me. Like, once it clicks for you, like it's no going back. Like I love myself. Like I'm the prettiest, like whew, I'm like, I'm that dude. You feel me? Like, not to gas myself up or anything, but to gas myself up, I'm that dude. You feel me? And I would never take that away from myself. Um, and it didn't. It took me like it took me a while to get to that point, but I'm happy where I am now. So let's hop into what we doing. So, um, Diddy, right? What's this next slide about? Cool. Okay, I'm gonna play this. Oh, I don't got this muted. Hold on, y'all. I'm lagging. That's exactly what I'm doing. Cool. Okay. So, see, what you see? Why we gotta go through this? Okay, cool. So, so we got Diddy, right? So Diddy, had a traumatic childhood growing up. His mom was, am I? Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so Diddy had a traumatic childhood growing up. His mom was a part-time model when he was really young, and his dad was an associate of the notorious gangster Frank Lucas. And there's like a lot of like I don't know if it's on HBO, but I know there's a lot of like documentaries about this. And like um, Frank Lucas was just one of those people that you didn't want to get involved with. Um, his dad was shot when he was 2 as a result of being an associate of Frank Lucas, and his mom actually kept it a secret from him and told him he died in a car accident. Um, he didn't find out until he got into college, and he searched his dad up in the books, and he found out he was involved in a mafia-related murder and what actually all went down. So you can probably see this resounding in yeah, right. Um, Imagine like from 2 to like what, like 18, that's got to be at least like 15, 16 years of just like not knowing, and then all of a sudden like you find out. um and yeah, I couldn't imagine going through that, really, like that. It's that type of tragedy. And after that, I'm not exactly sure how that changed him, but from the research that I've done, and something that kind of resounds on his character, after he found out, he started to use strong black men like Muhammad Ali as his role models. Um, and I think if you kind of look at his character and the way that he um, like holds himself, you can see that resounding with him. You can see that Muhammad Ali. You can see that, like, like Malcolm X. You can see those leaders within him and how he carries himself, which I think is something to really be admired. So he graduates in 1987, and he actually had plans to be a football player full time. Um, like he was like good, and that was something that caught me on guard. I was like, football player, like, did he, like, but like once you say football player and like you look at him, all of a sudden it starts to click. I'm like, yeah, nah, I could see him on the field for sure. He could definitely be one of them guys like posted up like this on like the highlights where he, detailing the stats. So yeah, so he had plans, once he graduated, to be a football player full time, but he suffered in an accident and broke his leg. Um, and I think that was kind of like God saying, like, like he hit him with the, I don't know, like the, not this time, like kind of putting his life, kind of moving his life into like, it's one of those things where like you don't see it at that point, but when you look at the overall of everything, it's like, yeah, he needed to break his leg. Like, yeah, like uh when I look at like the character of Diddy, like it's not something that kind of you just like see like, oh, like he obviously lived like this. I mean, you don't know what anybody's been through from a glance, of course, but like just looking at his story, like a lot of it is surprising. So um one of his aliases was Puffy, and he got that name as a result of his temper, like I mentioned in the beginning. Um, he gets so mad that he will huff and puff, and his friends called him Puffy as a result. So like, like you get mad and you're like, I'm upset, kind of like that. Um, so um, mentioning, so his mom, on top of like being, I think as like one of her jobs, she worked 4 jobs to keep them afloat, and she pushed them to get an education to like avoid the streets and avoid the same fate that his father undertook. So he enrolled in Howard University for business administration, um, and this is where it gets interesting, right? So he enrolled in Howard for business administration, but he pursued his passion as an entrepreneur, um, or he like found a passion for it once he got into college, um, alongside of like his like college education. So on top of college, he started producing weekly dance parties and running an airport shuttle service while he was at school. And like, if anything resounds about Diddy, if he gonna do something, he gonna get it done. He gonna get it done good. Um, and his parties started to grow in popularity and reach the thousands in attendance. So like, imagine going to a party like at like a universe, and like it's like thousands of people showing up um every week. Like every week, not just like once a month or something like that. He has that type of influence at such a young age. So part of his degree requirement for like college was he had to get an internship. And so at this point, he had his mindset on the music industry, and he landed a gig. He landed a gig slash internship at Uptown MCA Records, and he worked under Andre Harrell, who would serve as his mentor. So um, and he worked for free too. Like Andre was like, "You came to the right person if you wanted to work for free," um, which made me laugh because like I feel like I've had somebody say something similar to me, just in a like a more like politically correct way. So I get it. So he's balancing his internship, uh, these parties that he's doing in his airport shuttle service and college. Um, and so he started to work his way up the ranks from being an intern of Uptown MCA Records to being a talent director and working with people like Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. And in under 3 years, he worked his way into being the vice president of the company. I don't know if y'all clapping, but I'm gonna clap because that's crazy, man. Like 3 years, man. Um, so uh yeah, man. Like it's wild. Like I think that just speaks on Diddy's like work ethic. Like anything that he does, he's gonna do it well. And he was determined to like make a name for himself and get himself that leverage, which I wanted to speak on. For people who don't know what leverage is basically like what's a good way to put it? It's like kind of like I think in a basic thing, like think of like oh, a good one, right? So I want to know, how do you know so much about the backgrounds of these people? I do research before I pop up on here. Like I don't come like I make sure I come locked and loaded and prepared. Uh One of the ways that I do it is like it's a lot of YouTube searching, right? So I'm on YouTube and I look up like Diddy. Um and of course like just Diddy isn't gonna get me anywhere. So I'm like, all right, maybe not Diddy, maybe like Diddy interview. So I'm looking for like interviews where he says like this, that, and the third, or where he like speaks about maybe stuff that people don't know about. So for like what, like 2 3 hours, I maybe just like sitting through like interviews, like looking like, okay, this is something that I think y'all would maybe want to hear, or maybe like something that could help y'all. Um, or I'm looking for like I always do like the basic background, and then after that I add on top with other stuff, interesting stuff that I find. So it's just a lot of internet searching and a lot of like a lot of it is just maybe sometimes I just search up like Diddy rare footage or like Diddy like untold stories, stuff like that. Just the little stuff that people wouldn't know, and then I just amalgamate it into this hour, and that's how I fill it up and talk so much. So yeah, just to answer that question. Um, so um, yeah, man. So things get really interesting here. So I talked about Diddy's ambition. This is Diddy's ambition on like the front stage, right? So in 1992, um, Biggie's demo. So this is for this timeline. Diddy is still Diddy is like now the vice president of Uptown RCA. 1992, Biggie's demo tape makes its way to Uptown RCA, right? And Puffy liked Biggie's style, and he set up a meeting between them. And I remember, what was it? At that meeting, like he took them to like one of the best soul food spots in New York City. Like people would just come to New York specifically to get that soul food. Like it was that good. And he had this meeting with Biggie, and it was basically that like when Biggie was talking to him, he was talking like he wanted it so bad that like he didn't even eat like while they were at the meeting. Like he would that's not what he was focused on. He wasn't focused on like I don't know. I guess like there was some symbolism in that like um he was willing to go without food for his dream. Like um manifesting was the food for him to be able to get to where he wanted to be. So Biggie saw that in him and that potential, and he capitalized, right? So Uptown RCA Records, which is Diddy is the vice president of that company at this point, right? Uptown was getting pushed back because of the lyricism in Biggie's records and Biggie's record "Ready to Die." Um, some of y'all might recognize "Ready to Die," some might not. "Juicy" is on there, which is like one of the well-known songs. Um, so Uptown is getting pushed back because of the lyricism in the song. You know, Biggie. If you listen to Biggie, like you don't just play Biggie around anybody. You know, like unless it's people who know and listen to Biggie. Um, and they didn't want to fund the completion of the record because um, it was basically like they're getting pushed back. They don't know if it's safe to release. They don't know if they're going to get the return on their investment that they want. So, alongside this, 24 years old, Diddy is. He had made his own production company called Bad Boy Entertainment, um, alongside being the vice president. And he worked with like all the big artists because he was like the talent search at that company at one point, right? He worked with Biggie, Mary J. Blige, Faith Evans, like Jodeci, all these big like artists at that point in time. So um, Puffy is like, okay, cool. I see that they're pushing back, and they don't want to fund the completion of the record. So let me get that. Um, so Biggie, there was this clip where it basically talks about like how Biggie's reputation precedes him. So Biggie's like so big how Diddy's reputation precedes him. So Biggie is like, yo, like every time that I've done something with Diddy, like it's gone through and he always come through on what he said he was gonna do. So when it came to this album, I just trusted him and that's how it ended up. So there's a lesson there about like why reputation is so important. Um, my bad, lost my train of. So there's a reputation. There's a lesson there about why reputation is so important. Um, if like you work with somebody, right? Like say for instance, I'm a videographer, right? And I've done 3 videos with this person, and every single video has been like top quality. And in their comments on those videos, every single time, people are like, "Yo, like this video was sick. Who did your video, bro? That's crazy. That's wild." And they always like coming back to you. And then for all 3 of those, like you've delivered top quality. If you're like, "Yo, let me get some more control over how this is gonna go," then the artist is gonna be more willing to trust your vision for the song because they already know that you've executed a vision that aligns with how they see their music, um, and what's a smart decision. And Diddy represents that in this scenario. So, Ready to Die released in 1994 with Diddy, Bad Boy Records, and it's relished as one of the greatest albums of all time. Think about this, yo. Think about this. Man went from being an intern to capitalizing on the moment, taking an artist from under a label and just being like, yo, y'all not gonna act, let me do it. 1994, greatest album, one of the greatest albums of all time. So, yeah. So around this time, the Bad Boy versus Death Row beef began, um, and uh, Diddy basically, looking back on it, this is an interview more recently about what happened back then. He was basically saying like it spiraled out of control. So the beef was like real high. Everybody's riding off of it. Um, Biggie passes away 6 months after Tupac does. Um, and like the whole world is mourning these losses, right? Including Puff. So Puffy got inspiration from he woke up one day and he got inspiration from the song "Every Breath You Take" by the Police at that time, which was like a music group, and he made a tribute, "I'll Be Missing You," um, like using like taking inspiration from that song, um, and that launched his first album, No Way Out, which sold 3.4 million copies in the U.S. So, um, not long after that, he releases his second album, Forever, um, and like this is Diddy season now, like so. This is just to say, like, um, the things like the skills that Diddy had in the workspace were what allowed him to be able to capitalize on that opportunity. Because had Diddy not been there, it would have just been pushed back on the album, and then it probably wouldn't have gotten done. Or maybe like somebody who didn't have the best vision in mind for that album would have just like swept it under the rug, or like like it would have had like a smaller release. But because of what he saw there, and because of his work ethic, and because of the mindset that he had, let me speak on this, right? As far as Diddy's confidence, right? And this is all going to tie in. So don't worry, I'm not just rambling. I do that sometimes. I catch it. So one of the things that separates Diddy from other prominent musical figures is his undying and undeniable ambition, right? I think we can all agree upon that. I forgot when this stopped playing. My bad. Is his undeniable and undying ambition. Um, Ms. Joni said Diddy was a master of taking music from the '60s and '70s and bringing it back to life. He literally gave artists and producers the blueprint for how to get on. Exactly, like he taught artists how to use different platforms to create multiple streams of income, and like he really emphasized like the importance of the entrepreneur um, in the period of when he was hot. So definitely one of those artists that like you can take inspiration from. And this isn't just Diddy wilding out. I think he got a deal with MTV and he was celebrating. So don't even worry about it. So Diddy has what I can only describe as delusional self-confidence, and he commits to extreme manifesting. So delusional self-confidence isn't to say that uh he shouldn't be as confident as he is. It's that he deludes himself into like whatever he wants before he has it. So he's like, yo, I'm gonna be a billionaire, right? And he might only have 1 million in his pocket, but he's like, I'm a billionaire. Like, I'm a billionaire. Like right now, like everything that I'm doing right now, I'm a billionaire. You can't take that away from me. I will have what I want. You feel me? Um, a good comparison is recently. So Drake, on his Instagram, he talked about his come up in the year 2007, where in order to convince the city that he would make it and that he would be on top, he would scrounge up $5,000 every month to rent a Rolls Royce Phantom and keep up appearances. And he basically said that he doesn't recommend this to anybody else, but he did that because it helped him see it. Like it helped him see that he was gonna be on, and that this was something that would come for him. Just that car, being in it, driving around in it, the looks that he would get. It was like a space where like he could delude himself and distort his reality into believing like, yeah, I'm already there. I'm already gonna get it. I just gotta keep moving forward. You know, another comparison. And I heard that story, matter of fact, and I was like, wow, like I'm definitely not doing that. I don't know what he on, but like that's crazy right there. But it takes crazy to make success, and I don't like condemn it or look down on it at all. I'm just like, that's wild. Like on top of living, you scrounging up 5K for just to drive around in a Rolls Royce. Like that's wild. Like, and that was his weird way of like attaining his dream. Um, Another comparison would be Russ, and I know Russ isn't the most favored artist in the industry, right? However, there's a lot of gems and a lot of wisdom in what he says, and that is undeniable to me. Um, One of his interviews that I looked up, um, basically stated that if you want to change your reality, you have to already believe that it is your reality. Um, and back before he blew up and he became who he is now, like an independent artist that all these other independent artists look up to as an idol. Um, he distorted his reality by calling himself a billionaire, and he'd say that like his beats were worth millions, even though those things may have not been true at the time. He kept on saying it and manifesting it until bam, look at him now. You feel me? So wow, stuff, man. Yeah. So this all just ties into why Diddy isn't as crazy as you might think he is. Um, and why when you see these outbursts and you see this like intense look in his eyes of like whatever goal that he sets in mind, he has 100% faith and conviction that that's going to be his. That's not crazy at all. It's just like one of the more extreme ways of getting to what you want. Um, and it's kind of like an exusion of energy, right? Because the whole thing about manifesting is that you keep on saying it and you keep on putting it into your head and you keep on making yourself believe it again and again. And sooner or later, it changes the way you act to the point of where you're going to attract that energy that you want, right? One of the things that I manifested was meeting this up and coming artist in Baltimore that I really wanted to meet, Kudo. I brought him on before. And so I saw his stuff. I was impressed. I even kind of looked up to him and I was like, yo, that's sick. How does he do that? What's within these bars? And so I just kept on saying to myself, like, yeah, like I'm gonna meet him. I'm gonna meet him. I'm gonna meet him. Um, I'm gonna do this. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it yet, but I know that I'm gonna do it. And so my brain started like turning gears, and it was like sooner or later, like on the off tip, just besides everything else that I was doing, like I was setting up meetings with like mutual friends. Like I was like, okay, this is his mutual friend right here. If I get in good with him, they're mutual friends, so of course they're gonna meet up. Bow, I can meet him right there. Or like, um, I don't know. I know that if I bring value to him and I give a reason as to why we should meet, then I can make it happen. So that's how I ended up at Blackwater, basically, because like it wasn't only him, but I knew that was a space that he occupied, and God kind of made that happen in a which way of like, okay, you want to meet him, or you want to learn from him, and you want to see how he does what he does. I'll create a space for you where you can be an intern directly into the space where he works at all the time and where he makes his music. That's how manifesting works, right? It's not a linear path, but if you want to get there and you're motivated in it, and you make moves towards it, then God's going to make a path. And for like the non-believers of God, the universe is going to align in that which way. You feel me? So yeah, just a little tip on manifesting and all that. Yeah. So now we can get into the good life, right? So um hold on. I'm missing one of the things that I said I was going to talk about. My bad. So another one of Diddy's interviews, right? I know I've gone through like a couple. So another one of the things that people miss about Diddy's like ambition and his workflow is that the reason that he does that and the reason that he's able to do that is because he's willing to fill whatever space he can in order to get where he needs to be. Whether that's like, like maybe you got to carry some bags for some bigger artists that's got to come in, like before he blows. Maybe you got to carry some bags. Maybe he's got to, get some water. Maybe he's got to, run these tapes back and forth, like whatever he's got to do. He's letting everybody know around him that he's serious about the position that he's in. You feel me? So, perfect example of this, Andy Harrell, which is the person that was the owner of Uptown RCA Records, who he became the vice president of, and who was a mentor to him. Had him doing all sorts of had him doing all sorts of tasks unrelated to music when he was like an intern, whether that be there was this one time where Andy Harrell and Diddy wanted to throw a pool party, right? Um, but the whole thing about a pool party, right, is that the pool has to be ready, and the pool wasn't working. So, and he was like, "Yo, what we gonna do? Like, you can't have a pool party without a pool." You feel me? So Diddy was like, "All right, I'll be right back." Um, and he actually he got Andy Harrell upset because like he was like he had some other stuff that he was doing at that point. So he was like, "What are you doing? Like, what's happening?" So Diddy comes back with some balloons, some fire sticks, um, and like I think a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard, something like that. And so what Andy's mad because he's like, "Yo, like you said you was gonna fix the pool. Why are you coming back with balloons? Like, what's like?" So Diddy sets up the balloons next to the pool, sets the fire sticks around the pool, and then he sets up the sign, and it says, "This is the soon coming pool party." So, so the whole point of that story is that like he learned how to adapt, and he was smart with it too, like slick. Like, hey, I don't know how to fix a pool, um, but you know, like, uh, they ain't had a soon coming pool party yet, so let's make that happen. You feel me? So, um, this all ties into back into like when you're at a position where you can get where you want to be. um the main thing that's going to set you apart from all the other people that want to be up top is how you overcome adversity, and how hard you're willing to push forward. So yeah, man. um let's speak about the entrepreneurial side of Diddy real quick, right? So um I've talked a lot about like how he got to where he was. Now let's talk about some of the things that he did to get where he was. Like I just said the same thing but in two different forms. Let's talk about some of the investments that he made, right? So Diddy, man's over like everything, right? Hold up. That's just some pictures of him. So Diddy was like $820 million net worth, I think. I don't know what it is now, but I know he got that type of money. Uh, he created Sean John Apparel in the time where he was hot, and uh, if you talk to some of the older generation, they'll tell you about some Sean John. Uh, had Bad Boy Entertainment, where you had people like Biggie, people like Faith Evans, people like Biggie, Faith Evans. Um, he had what else did he have? Boys in the Hood, Craig Mack, um, just to name a few, on Bad Boy Records. Created a successful record company, and then he invested in Revolt, which I don't know if anybody follows Revolt TV here, but it's like a media outlet. He invested in he has ownership of Revolt, and along with that, he has ownership of the Revolt broadcasts, and like the Revolt broadcast and media company alongside that. So he's got his hands in both of those. Um, he's got a 50-50 profit on Ciroc, and I know some people in here know what Ciroc is. You don't even gotta be shy about it. Um, so he's making money off that. He had a deal alongside Jay-Z, I want to say, for $100 million for Ciroc, and doing, I want to say, commercials or advertisements for them, using his platform as a musician. Um, Aqua Hydrate, I've never seen that bottled water in my life. However, um, I looked up Aqua Hydrate on Google, and apparently it's nearby somewhere near me, somebody, so I can still buy it. So that means he's still making money off of it. Um, So that's his water company right there. If you're not an alcoholic or you don't intake alcoholic beverages, and then that is the Harlem Prep School. Um, I think that he also has a hand in on his portfolio. So um, when people talk about P Diddy being entrepreneur, this is what entrepreneurial looks like. Um, and this is just like companies. This isn't even talking about the artists that he's put on, the favors that he's done for other people. Like there's so many things that like people wouldn't see, you know, that tie into why he's a successful music figure and also entrepreneur. Excuse me. So yeah, man. Where we at? Okay, we got 15 more minutes. My mouth dry. Um, I'll get through this last little part. Um, so another thing that I wanted to talk about was that and this will be the thing that ends it off, right? So um I kind of analyzed Diddy or Love, analyzed Love um and so he did an interview with this billionaire named Ray Dalio, my bad, with this billionaire named Ray Dalio, who I think is one of Diddy's mentors. And like in a typical interview, it'll be like a sit down, right? Like it'll be two people sat down, and then they'll just be chilling. The interviewer has a couple questions, and then like they chop it up, talk back and forth. This was different because I could clearly see without having to say anything that Diddy saw this interview as an opportunity for growth, and he didn't necessarily see it as just like an interview for the public. Um, he saw value in it for himself as well as for the public, right? So he still did his due diligence as an interviewer. But if you look in the interview, right, he's got a book in his hands, and the book in his hands is the book that Ray Dalio wrote, right? Alongside with that book, he's writing down notes as Ray Dalio was talking. Um, he highlighted topics of interest in the book. He actually read the book several times before the interview. And he took notes while they were having the interview and asked for clarification. Um, but like more than anything within that interview, you could see that he was a good listener. Like, forget everything else, he was a good listener, and um, he was really humble in that interview. Like he was really vulnerable, really humble, really like, I don't know this, I don't know that, I have trouble with this. Um, this is what I perceived by what you wrote. Could you clarify and tell me what you mean by that? Like, I saw this side of Diddy that a lot of people I think don't take notice of, or maybe even don't even see, where along with being a prominent figure and a smart entrepreneur and like all this, um, he's just as good an entrepreneur as he is a scholar. Um, and like he pays attention to detail very closely. Kevin Gates, he made this quote once that kind of sticks with me, which is like, it's like one of them simple like old head quotes that like just stays stuck in my head. Like this one my friend's dad had, which was like, you can't be cool if you cold. Which was how he kind of got my friend into like, always wearing a coat when he went outside. Um, so the quote by Kevin Gates was, you got 2 ears and you got one mouth, so you should be listening twice as much as you're talking. Um, and I think that you could kind of like use that quote to kind of attribute um, what makes Diddy part of what makes Diddy as successful as he is, because he listens twice as hard as he talks, and you can see that he comes from a very intellectual and like, yo, um, I don't know anything type of um, standpoint, which I really envy about him, and it's one of those things I want to learn from about him. So Yeah, man. Um, so I'm gonna tie this all up with like a small list that I made from like what I basically learned from all this information that I have about Diddy that I'm just like throwing up on the screen for y'all. So, um, uh, at one point, you're gonna be the new person in the space where you want to be the big dog, and you have to humble yourself and realize that it's not your mindset can't be it's gonna be my way or nothing, but instead that it has to be whatever it takes and whatever way I'm led. I'm gonna trust in the process, and that I'll end up where I want to be. The way to get to the spaces that you can't even dream of, in my opinion, is simple, right? Simple to say, hard in execution, or whatever that quote is. You gotta ask how to get there and ask for it directly. That is one of the things that um, I think I have over some people. That a lot of the successful people have over some people, and that a lot of people just don't do, which is that they want something, but then they don't ask for it or ask how to get it. Um, a perfect example is my mom was on this like Steve Harvey um, meeting, uh, or something like that, or basically like a bunch of people got to be in a Zoom room with Steve Harvey, asking questions, get guidance from him, and it was kind of guided. And one of the people there straight up like told Steve Harvey like, "Yo, I got the work ethic from it. I got the work ethic. I want it really bad. Uh, I want a position to be able to excel at your company." He uh, ran down his portfolio real quick and his resume, and he got an internship right there, like a paid internship from Steve Harvey right there in front of everybody. Like imagine like 30, 40 people in the room. He was the only person that asked. And because of that, he was the only person in that room that left with a job. And not just any job, um, one with somebody who has the leverage to get him to the places that he wants to be. So that's number one. Ask. If you want it, like, yo, I'm so on like the ask, just straight up ask, that like if I want some info, like I just straight up like I'm like, okay, like something that dawned on me today. I was like, yo, like one of the songs on Drake's new album, Certified Lover Boy, Yebba's Heartbreak, it sounds unfinished, right? Like it sounds like at the beginning of the song, it sounds like um that it's not the full song. Um and one, I want to know why they did it like that. And two, I want to know if my suspicions are correct, and why like um they did it like that, or like what the why they didn't use the full song, right? So I was like, yo, who could tell me that information? What's Drake's label? OVO. So here's what I'm gonna do right now, right? I'm gonna look up call OVO, right? Call maybe better if I just like went on Instagram or something like that, right? Because it really is sometimes that simple. You go to like the OVO website, right? Welcome OVO, October's very own. Cool. They got all this, and then there's a phone number, a contact us. There's not a phone number, but there's an email. So I just straight up like go like, okay, bet I'm gonna email OVO and I'm gonna be like, yo, on it. Yebba's Heartbreak. Is that the full song, or is it only part of the song, right? And I'm probably gonna get that information, right? The point of me saying that is just to say that like sometimes it's not as hard as you think. Like sometimes if you want some info and you want like um like to get some answers from somebody, we're not in the stone age anymore. You got a phone and everybody has a phone number or an email. email them, hit them up. If you can't hit them up directly, hit up their assistant who handles all the hit them ups. You feel me? But the point being is that asking is such like an easy skill that you can do that can get you to the right places. You just have to be willing to, like, for real. I didn't mean to do that. My phone went, yo, you good? Yeah. So just ask, like, think about somebody that you don't think you can reach right now, like, and just straight up, like, see, like, okay, like, just theoretically, right? If I wanted to talk to, like, I don't know, like Brandon Scott, the mayor of Baltimore, or if I wanted to talk to Stokey, how hard would it realistically be for me to get in direct contact with him, or to get in contact with somebody in their entourage who can give me the information that I would ask them, right? It's not that hard. Everybody has a line that you can hit up. It's all about like how willing are you to go that far and how brave are you going to be, you know? So is that. That's number one. I'm gonna run through the other ones because we don't got that much time. So Diddy basically said you got to have a champion mindset that nothing can stop you. And with all the talking I've done about Diddy, I hope that you can see that he has that. Like, he's very much I am the undefeatable man in the room type dude. Like, um, you could ask him and he'd probably just like repeat something similar to that. You feel me? You got to have that mindset that you can achieve anything. Um, um, what's going to deter you from having that mindset is the difficulty of each task. But just because it's difficult doesn't necessarily mean you can't do it. It just means that it's going to take more time. You got to humble yourself. Number three, make yourself fit wherever a spot is open. I already said that. And build leverage to get where you want to be. I was gonna talk about leverage before, but I kind of like veered off. Leverage, right? YTK released the song "Let It Off," which was um, kind of like a rendition of, was it Mariah Carey's song "Let It Off," or like it was "Let It" something. I forgot. My bad. But that blew up because she gave attention to it, and she was like, in like a playful manner, she was like, "I'm gonna send my lawyers and all that," and she didn't really. But her sending that message gave him leverage to the point of where now he's lusted after in the Baltimore scene. Like, everybody wants to do a song with him because Mariah Carey hit him up, and now everybody's eyes are on him, right? So now he has that leverage of attention. That's a type of leverage, and you can build leverage by like, I don't know, there's like a number of ways, but just giving yourself more value, and that can come in the form of assets, or that can come in the form of character traits, like being a dependable person is leverage. If you're dependable and somebody else isn't, they're going to pick you first. That's just what it is. Number four, you got to self-reflect again and again and again. It's tiring. It really is. Because I know, because I'm a person who self-reflects a lot, and a lot of the times when I self-reflect, I come to the conclusion that I'm wrong, or that I'm not doing this the right way, or that when I made that decision, like I could have made a better one, you know. But more often than like I was in the wrong, or that I could have like done something better at that point, and just reflecting on myself and being like, okay, like that wasn't the best decision. Look, I can see why I'm wrong now. How do I get better, or how do I do that better next time? And that's not easy. Number five, stay focused on reaching the end goal. So growth is a part of the process. Whatever space that you're in, always think about your end goal. Like, what do I want to accomplish in this space? And put that first before anything else. Um, Always be polite, always keep it cordial, always, follow the regular proceedings. But format yourself in that space to where you're making the moves that are required by you of the space. So if you're going to like a black and white party, then I mean, if you're going to like a white affair, then you got white on, you know. But at the same time, you like, all right, bet here's who I want to talk to. Uh, while I'm, suited up, let me go over there and talk to them and make that connection. You feel me? I'm gonna go a little bit over with this last one. So yeah, always stay focused on the end goal at all times. Always. No matter what space you're in. I know a lot of dudes like Tone. He's like a recurring character within the Heart Smiles nonprofit. Um, I remember for my internship, um, we set up an interview with him to be in the documentary and animated in and all that. But when I talked to him, he's basically like, I was thinking of that interview as like, okay, cool, y'all want this interview footage from me, but this is also going to look great as content I can put out for myself. So we had the end goal of creating an asset for himself that he could use later. So always have an end goal for yourself. Don't come into a space where there's value without one, because it's a lost opportunity. Um, and the last thing I'm gonna say, because I'm running over time, kind of, because I've been speaking for like ever. The last thing I'm gonna say before anything, is that uh, I'm gonna keep this vague, and I want you guys to take from it what you will. Um, I was giving out business cards, right? So I got business cards, and I was like, okay, this is like an asset to my business. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I got business cards. Let me start handing them out. Um, and like at first, when I started handing out business cards, I wasn't getting any calls, and I was like, okay, what's the point of me handing out these cards if I'm not gonna if I'm not gonna get calls back requesting my business? Like that's the whole reason I spent this money to get these cards, right? So it kind of dawned upon me after a while, right? A business card is kind of like you selling yourself, like an advertisement of yourself, right? So if you give that to somebody, it's a way for them to like, oh, cool, I like this person. Like, okay, now I know how I can contact them. Let me hit them back again. No, why is it already? Yeah, my bad. So a business card is like an IRL, like in real life advertisement that you give to somebody. That's basically what it is. And because you gave it to them, it holds weight because, oh, somebody gave this to me. Because they wanted to stay in contact. That's the value that the card holds, right? By just you giving it to them. People didn't call me back because, or rather, right? I would start to get calls when instead of just handing them that business card, right? We had a conversation. I treated them like a human being. Whoever I wanted to keep in contact with, I chopped it up first. Like business comes second. What comes first is the relationship that perpetuates the business. So I'm chopping it up with this person. I'm like, hey, like, yo, this is really dope. Like this is what I do. I'm really interested in what you do. It's dope that you do that. We seem to be in the same path of business. We should do something more. So we keep on talking. We keep on talking. We had like, and keep in mind in this situation, right? I was in a. At first I was in a rush because I was like, oh, I'm about to miss my bus. I gotta go to the studio, man. So I missed my bus anyway before I even got there. So that was God sending me a message, yo, you got to have this conversation. Like, this is going to teach you a lesson, right? So we chopping it up. And after that, after me chopping it up with him and all that, right? After that, I give him my business card. And that's the person that I got a call back from. Right. I probably gave out like 100 business cards, probably 150. I don't know. I know I was carrying them with me at all times. You know, I even got them right here. You feel me? Hold on, let me flash it real quick. I paid for them, so I always show them off. I got that right there on me at all times. That's like my credit card right there. I carry that with me at all times. That was the person that I got a call back from. And I gave him my business card. Matter of fact, I think he asked for my business card. He was like, "Yo, you got a card?" And that's a question that I'm prepared for now. Y'all gotta be prepared for that question because people ask a lot. You'd be surprised. So he was like, "You got a card?" Not too long ago, not too long after, he hits me up about this opportunity. He's like, "Yo, uh, I know somebody who's having an event and they need a photographer. You think you can make it down there?" And I'm like, at first I gave him like a maybe, and then I gave him like a yes. So because of that conversation that I had, and because we connected as human beings and saw the value in each other, That's what made the business card valuable. It wasn't just um like me handing it to him and then expecting like something to come out of it. It was the conversation. It was me initiating a relationship, and it was me being a real person first. If you're in a room full of influential people, you're not going to mess with every single one, but the one that you do mess with will be the one that will take you further. Don't be fake, y'all. In any of these, you know, don't be fake. The people that you do mesh with and do make relationships with and that you do gravitate with are going to be the ones that you bring that bring value to you, that bring value to you if you have those um intentions when you talk to them. But don't be fake. It all authenticity breeds the best money, bro. The best money. Whew. Okay, cool. I'm done. I'm done. I've been rambling on for a minute. I can't even lie. But I'm done now. Y'all can stop hearing me talk. I just wanted to talk about that. And that was all like good stuff that like just happened to me, right? But it all kind of aligned into um this message. And I hope y'all got something from it. And I hope that you were able to, I don't know, learn from it. Um but yeah, y'all. Authenticity, consistency, being humble. That's what it boils down to, man. All right, Miss Joni.
You was over there preaching, wasn't you?
Yeah.
I
Brother
was like,
Love,
go
Brother
ahead,
Sykes.
B. Dropping
Yeah,
them jewels back to back. Thank you so much. And thank you for that. Like, yo, that was very interesting. I didn't even know a lot of that stuff. That was great.
really.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff. I mean, I knew about like his music career, but not about like his parents and stuff like that. I didn't know any of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's real inspirational, really.
Yeah. But he, man, when Andre passed away, like he was in tears because that was literally the dude that put him on. Like, and I'm glad you just touched on how he interned for free because people have lost
Yeah.
that mentality. Like, everybody want $1, but it's like, yo, the value and the experience that you get is worth way more. And he
Heck
understood
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I really do think that's what like propelled him to the next level for real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. That was amazing.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I told you I was coming with the heat today.
Yeah, you got the heat. You got the heat. You got that. You got that.
All right, Miss Jody.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Y'all, look at this. Look what happened while Beats was on. Look at, can y'all see this? Look, hold up. Let, let me see. Hold up. Can y'all see this? Not one, but two. Cam Gotti. Thank you, Cam Gotti. Hey, yo, we on the live session with Beats, yo. My doorbell going off. My text message going off. I'm hitting up my text message, yo. Deej, who I told y'all is an amazing baker. She made my favorite sweet potato pie, y'all. Like, yo, like, thank you. Thank you, Cam Gotti. I was like, yo, I was like, what you doing? She was like, yo, Cam was on it. She said Cam said to make sure I had to deliver it today. She was like, it had to. I was like, yo, thank you, Cam. I can't even show y'all the balloon, yo. I can't even show y'all the balloon, but I got a balloon on here too, yo. But thank you, Cam Gotti, yo. Y'all know I can't handle surprises. That was amazing, yo. But thank you, yo. Crazy. But y'all, that yep, Beats had a great session, yo. And he was dropping jewels and he was dropping knowledge. And I really hope that somebody took something from the examples that he was talking about. Like that manifestation, absolutely real. I'm not saying you gotta go out here and rent some cars for a couple of thousands of dollars just to feel like you got it. But speaking stuff into existence and putting yourself in the right spaces and being willing to offer value and put yourself in a learner's position so that you can learn and perfect your craft, like amazing, yo, amazing. And as we can see, that man went on to have a great, great, great career. Thank you, Donovan. Thank you, Don to Don. Don to Don done already said it, yo. He done already let y'all know, yo. Go be productive, yo. Go be productive. And as a matter of fact, y'all, I need um I need a couple people too that's interested in being on a project. If you got some bandwidth, if you still on here rocking with us right now, and you got some bandwidth to take on another project, hit me up. Let me know the basic information about the project, and I'm saying it now real quick because it's only a limited amount of spots. So if anybody that's still on here now, if you've been hanging on here now, then you definitely deserve one of the spots if you want it. So, but basically, it's with our favorite partners. Y'all know John Hopkins University, Bloomberg School of Public Health. Um, but what they are doing is they are doing some surveys to figure out what the impact is of some of the situations in Baltimore on youth. And it's a project that's going to last for like a few years. Now, granted, you ain't got to tie yourself to it for a few years if your situation change or something happened and you're no longer able to participate. Like that's cool, but just know that the option is there. And what you would be helping them to do is you would be helping them to administer some of these surveys and help recruit some young people to take these surveys to talk about their experience in the city. And you would be working closely with the professors and their team to just figure out how to be effective in those spaces. So that's the basic gist of it. The pay is around $30 an hour, and the schedule and everything is not set yet because they want to get the team together first and then figure out what schedule works best with the team. And also it's a great opportunity to work with Latino youth because it's going to be a few of us heartbeats and it's going to be a few Latino youth, and we all basically going to be working together on these goals to try to get these surveys done and figure out what are some things that need to change in our city. We already know some of them just off the bat, but this is like a formal, more depth and deep situation. So if you're interested in that, if you hear that, just shoot me a text message and say, Ms. Joni, I'm interested in the leadership opportunity with JHU, and I'm gonna know which one you're talking about, and I'm gonna go ahead and put you on the list. And then if I don't get enough people from like y'all that's here right now, then I'll ask other people if they are available to do it. But yeah, let me know, y'all. And we got more projects coming up too, y'all. Like it's so many more things. It's hard to keep up. I'm gonna have to get another separate link, like just for the projects. And y'all already know the projects. You won't get your money. But yes, y'all. Don the Don said it. Go be productive, yo. Go work on your goals, yo. If you ain't got no goals, that's a bigger problem. But I doubt that's your struggle if you rock it with us right now, yo. Start where you are with what you have, yo. And always, always, always think about how you can help somebody else too. Like it's not enough if all we doing is just helping ourselves and we just keeping it to ourselves. Big shout out to Tanner, because Tana, people been hitting me up saying that, oh, Tana sent me, saying Tana told me to come. Whatever you doing, thank you, thank you, thank you, yo. And everybody else gotta get on that boat too, yo. Especially with these schools where people can't read, yo. We gotta make sure that we are tapping into these other spaces and letting these other young people know, like, look, it's hope, it's opportunity, it's access, yo. It's things that you can get done. So definitely, definitely, definitely make sure that y'all tapping into some of these other spaces so that we can get some of these other young people involved in what we're doing. Yes, Tanner, you already know. Appreciate you so much. Y'all, y'all heard it here first. I'm probably either not gonna be able to do Focus Friday tomorrow, or it might be a time switch. I'm gonna keep y'all updated. So if people are looking for me tomorrow, y'all just let them know. I'm gonna hit y'all when I get off the plane. All right, yo. All right, y'all. I'm out of here, y'all. I see y'all.